And now it's time for the news at 10.
Good evening everybody and welcome to the Yorkshire News at 10. This segment will be hard for some to hear, so if you have no burning questions regarding the appropriately named Yorkshire Ripper, feel free to switch off. Today we are joined by criminal profiler and behavioural analyst Graham Ackroyd.
Good evening and thank you for inviting me. I'm here today to give my professional insights into the mind of the Ripper and to answer any burning questions from the very concerned public.
It's lovely to have you, Graham. So we now see a lot of people referring to the killer as the Ripper. Many of us are wondering, what is a Ripper and how do we distinguish a Ripper from, say, a murderer?
Indeed, that's a very common misconception. A Ripper, though while still being a killer, is slightly different to a murderer. This killer is a Ripper because they mutilate and slash their victims using a knife and whatever they can find to hand. To become a Ripper, you must also have a victim count higher than 3. And with the recent murder of Patricia Atkinson, this killer has earned himself that grim title.
Fascinating. Now, folks, we will open the line to questions. Please call 07415 030055 with your queries. We have our first caller.
I heard all of the women that were killed were dirty prostitutes. So why do you think he's only killing no dirty whores on the streets?
This is a question that has a multitude of answers that no one can be sure of until we know more about the Ripper. It could be a burning hatred for sex workers due to some kind of religious reason that have been instilled since childhood. It could be a hatred for women in general. It is clear that whoever is doing this is an evil man, a man who has no moral compass. No part of his brain is strong enough to resist these burning urges to strip women of their lives, to strip children from their mothers. There is a part of his brain that is missing.
Thank you, Graham. It's clear to see that this is a very depraved person. It looks like we have another question.
We know the streets aren't safe for sex workers, but what about their wee doctors and their friends? They're only teenagers and they're only young. Will they be safe on the streets?
Of course, do everything at your own risk, but at this point in time it doesn't look like the Ripper has any plans to slow down or stop. However, on the other hand, he seems to be on the twisted mission to exterminate sex workers. So I wouldn't worry too much about your daughters coming home.
Just remember to keep your wits about you whenever you're out alone. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. Thank you, Graham. I'm sure you've put a lot of nerves at ease. I'm Mandy, and this was the Yorkshire News at 10. And now, time for the weather.
This question has a multitude of answers that no one can be sure of until we know more about the Ripper. It could be a burning hatred for sex workers due to some kind of religious reason that may have been instilled in him from since childhood. Maybe his mother was over-domineering. Maybe he had to, wet the bed. It could... That's extreme.